everyone, and welcome back to another video with your girl, Laura. Today we're diving into this beautiful sultry glam. We got the whole glowy skin moment and that smoked out liner going on, a bold red lip, so buckle in and get ready because this is going to be a good one. I'm going to be starting off with the eyebrows since I want more of a structured brow. I'm doing the soap technique, which is wetting your spoolie and picking up some soap while the spoolie is wet and just pressing that on the eyebrows while pushing them up at the same time. This is going to create a laminated feathery brow look and it's going to keep them in place. I will then be going in with brow powder. I'm using the ABH brow powder in taupe and just filling in any empty gaps that you might have. And see how I'm still using the spoolie side to brush out any excess powder that might be on there. You don't want them to look too harsh or drawn in. Next up, I'm taking the P. Louise Base Shade 2 to prime the eyelids with a concealer buffing brush. This is a Zoeva 142 and I'm tapping that base all over her eyelids. So for eyeshadow, I'm using the Carnival Extra Large Pro Palette by Be Perfect and Stacey Marie. The first shade I'm applying on the crease is Basic with a Zoeva 221 blending brush. This is a pretty simple look, so this is the only shade I'll be using on her crease to create some depth and warmth. So make sure you are taking your time to perfect that first blend. As you can see, I'm pulling that eyeshadow back to her temples to create that lifted effect that's going to accentuate the wing later on. For the liner, I'm using Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner in black, and I'll be applying it with a small smudger brush. And as you can see, I'm just lining her eyelids and leaving a small amount of that product on her outer corner. I will then be taking this pencil brush. This is the Zoeva 230 and taking the black shade Lights Out from the palette, and I'm going to start smudging that liner, making sure I'm applying black eyeshadow all over on top of that gel eyeliner. This is going to create the effect that we did this liner with just eyeshadow, so basically making it look a bit messy and not so structured. So keep on building that intensity, baby. Keep in mind that I'm being mindful of where I apply that black eyeshadow. You want to avoid taking it too far back into the temple because you want that ombre effect as the wing goes on. So the shade I'm using after the black to create that ombre effect is Intuition, which is a dark brown. I'm switching brushes as I go back on that wing to a Morphe M507 brush, and the last shade I'm using to blend that wing into the skin is Basic, which is the first shade I used on her crease. This is going to finish that blend and will make it look seamlessly blended. If you ever feel like the black on the eyelid is not dark enough, keep on building those layers and apply more black eyeshadow. This will also help to make it last longer. Using that concealer buffing brush as an eraser to sharpen up the wing underneath, always making sure it's as sharp and clean as it can be. So for the sparkles on the lid, I'm taking one of my favorite products ever, ColourPop Single Shock Eyeshadow in the shade Ladybird. It's this super sparkly and bright color, and I think the texture and the finish, it's what makes it so special. Keep in mind, I sprayed my flat brush with a setting spray first and then I applied it on the lid. This will give it more of a wet look. Some of the sparkles might have fallen down on the skin, so let's make sure it's nice, clean, and prepped for the makeup to come. I'm taking a Bare Minerals Micellar Water on cotton pads to clean her skin of any fallout. And then for eye cream, I'm using the Clinique All About Eyes eye cream and applying it with my pinky finger. Always make sure you're not using a dominant finger to apply eye cream, since that would make the application much more gentle. I will then be moisturizing her skin with the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Barrier Cream. It's a very lightweight moisturizer, so it won't make the foundation separate, and it hydrates the skin to the fullest, making sure we have a nice, plump, and hydrated canvas. Prepping the skin is a must if you want to achieve that flawless foundation look. Make sure you wash your face with a cleanser before you begin doing your makeup and use skincare products that best suit your skin type. Trust me when I say this will change your makeup game 100%. I'm gonna give the skincare some time to sink in, so I'll be finishing up her eyes. I'm coating her lashes with the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, making sure even the lashes are as black as they can be. Then I'll be applying some falsies. Today I'm using Leading Lashes in the style Carisha. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but you get the point. Always make sure there isn't a gap between her natural lashes and the falsies. I always like to curl them together because I find this helps so much to make them blend into one another. Don't forget to line the waterline with some black eyeliner. A great tip to making it stay all day long is applying black eyeshadow on top of the liner you applied on the waterline. It's almost like sealing it in, like how we do with setting powder on the face. Okay, time to go back to the face. I'm taking the Becca Photo Filter Primer and I'm going to be applying it with a small tapered brush. This primer has some luminosity to it, so I love applying it on the high points of the face where the highlighter would go because that creates a super glowy base that will shine through the foundation. It gives you that glow from within look. Just keep in mind that if you have some texture, try to avoid those areas because this primer will only make it stand out. So for foundation, I'm using the Dior Backstage foundation. Even though it has a very fluid consistency, it provides loads of coverage if you build it up. I'm using a small domed tapered face brush from Morphe, and as you can see, I'm tapping that foundation in since I want to build up coverage. Always tap if you're trying to build coverage and circular motions when you're trying to blend it into the skin. I really wanted to tell you guys how sometimes it's not necessarily about the product, it's about the technique. You can have the most expensive product, but it's not working out for you because you haven't perfected the technique. I will always stand by the fact that you have to keep practicing until you get the results you want. I know it's very easy to get frustrated when it comes to makeup, but don't give up and pick up those brushes today. For concealer, I'm going in with my favorite Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral. I'm applying it with the same buffing brush I applied my eyeshadow base with and doing the same tapping motions as I did with the foundation, making sure I'm getting the most coverage and a flawless application. Don't forget to sharpen up that wing once again with the concealer and the brush. This will be your best technique to clean up underneath the wing if you ever need to. Now it's time to set everything in place with some setting powder. Underneath the eyes, I will be taking my Cover FX No Color setting powder with a small brush and again tapping that on top of the concealer. A lot of times when we're working with black eyeshadow on the lid or the bottom lash line, it might tend to bleed on the under eye, which causes it to look dark once again. It can either be because you didn't apply enough eyeshadow base or because you didn't set the under eye correctly. This is where setting powder comes to play. You have to make sure you're applying the setting powder really close to your under lash line, especially the inner corner, and make sure you leave it there to bake for a few minutes and then wipe it off. This will act like a barrier between the eyeshadow and the skin. Try it and let me know how it works. I am now taking any leftover powder I have and with a Morphe E3 powder brush, I'm tapping that into the skin, sealing the deal in, making sure it doesn't move. I also took some RCMA No Color setting powder and applied it on the T-zone to make sure the areas I want matte stay matte for a while. So now I'm using another setting powder, but this one will give me that glow that I desperately want. I'm using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Finishing Powder in Ethereal Light. It has this blurring technology that also highlights, but not with shimmer. It's almost like a luminescence glow. Again, I love using this powder on the high points of the face to bring out that glow from within look. Now I will be finishing up the eyes by adding eyeshadow on the lower lash line. I will be using the same shades I used on the lid, so I'm going to start with Basic, then Intuition, and Lights Out to intensify the look even more. Remember to be very mindful with what brush you use for the black eyeshadow. If you use a brush that's too big, the black will come down too much and you don't want that. This is why I applied it with an angled brush, giving me more precision on where I placed it. I really wanted that cat eye feline look, which is why I decided to add the inner corner wings. I did this with the same Maybelline black gel eyeliner with a really thin angle brush. It's very important that you use a brush that is very sharp for this because otherwise you won't get the same results. As you can see, I'm cleaning up and sharpening up that wing very quick before it dries with a pointed Q-tip. I love these to make any eyeliner sharp and clean. For bronzer, I'm taking the Inglot Sculpting Powder in number 515 and defining her face to the gods with an angled brush. This is a super glam look, which is why I'm going in with the bronzer. I really want to make her features stand out. I'm applying it on the hollows of her cheeks, around the forehead, the nose, and of course, the jawline. For highlight, I'm using the highlighter Fair Play from the Carnival palette with a Morphe E61 brush. See how I'm mostly concentrating it right in the middle of the cheek. You want to apply the most concentration of product on the areas where the light naturally hits. So the cheek, a little bit on the sides of the forehead, and the tip of the nose. You can even apply it in the middle of your shin if you want some light there too. This will also help so much when you're taking pictures and you just want that highlight to show. This way you won't have to twist your face on all kinds of weird angles to get that highlight in the picture. It will just show by itself. For blush, I use the MAC Cosmetics Modern Mandarin Blush. It has a sheen to it, so it definitely helped with the overall glow of the face. I applied it with the tip of the same angled brush I used for the bronzer. We decided this look definitely called for a classic red lip. To line them, I'm using the Morphe lip liner in the shade Mina. I'm not only lining the outline of her lips, I will also be filling them in with the pencil as I go. Remember that a red lip application has to be applied with the most precise hand so you can get a perfect outline and you won't have to go back to clean it up around the edges. If you do, I found that the best way to clean it up is with concealer and a flat brush, but let's hope you don't have to do that. Once you are done perfecting the lips with the liner, I will be adding a liquid lipstick. This is the Carity Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Pepper. These are some amazing, long-lasting liquid lipsticks, and they're only $6. Yeah, that's right, only $6. This is one of my favorite shades they have. They have tons more though. I'll be applying it with a flat lip brush. Another trick to get that wet highlight look is once again going in with the ColourPop single eyeshadow that we used on the lid, Ladybird, and grabbing it with my finger and applying it anywhere I applied highlighter. I feel like you get the best payoff when you apply this eyeshadow with your finger because you get the most out of that shimmer. And of course, always make sure you thoroughly wash and sanitize your hands before you do this. Don't go in and apply with dirty ass fingers. Trust me, nobody wants that. You guys know I had to go all in with the whole glowy skin look. So I'm first applying Becca Cosmetics Liquid Illuminator in the shade Topaz all over her chest area. This is a bronzy color, so it will bring some color to her skin. I'm applying this with a fluffy brush. Just make sure you thoroughly blend it into the skin because you don't want a streaky finish. And then just top it off with a little bit of powder highlighter and you'll be done. And at last, let's finish it off with some setting spray. This is the MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light, which has gold shimmer in it, so I'll be concentrating it on the chest area and then a little bit on the face. So with this, we come to an end for this video. I really enjoyed doing this because it's such a timeless glam look that anybody could pull off. If you like this video, please like it and share it, and of course subscribe if you want to see more of me in the future. I'm hoping all of you are staying safe and healthy. I'm sending you lots of love and light from home. I will be seeing you on my next one. Bye.